You know, Miss Ballish, I'll never forgive myself for last night at the cafe.
But strangely enough, you were right, Mr. Novak, when you guessed that I never met the man I was waiting for. He was just someone who'd been writing letters to me. Oh, such glorious letters.
And he never showed up.
I waited till closing.
I feel very responsible.
It wasn't just you, Mr. Novak. There could have been so many reasons. But if he cared at all, he would have explained. He would have written a letter, a note, 2 words, something.
He will write, Miss Ballish.
Oh, I don't think so.
He will. I'm not just guessing. I know it definitely.
How?
He told me himself.
Wait, himself?
Yes, of course, dear friend. No one else.
Dear friend. When? How? Tell me, Mr. Novak. Please tell me.
Oh, well, let's see. Last night when I left the cafe, I had the oddest feeling that someone was following me. And I kept looking back, and there was
A young man.
a man. And when we were almost home, he came up and started asking questions about you and I.
Well, what sort of questions?
Oh, just what you'd expect from a man.
Well, okay, I want to know the words he said.
I'm not very good at remembering
Well, just
exactly.
try, please.
All right, let's see. I think the first thing he said was, "Excuse me, but I'd like to ask you a question." Or something like that. And then the next thing he said was, "Did you just leave the Cafe Imperial?" You want to know what I said?
Of course.
All right, I said yes.
Right, and then?
And then he said, "Tell me, but that girl you were with, is she a special friend of yours?" And I said, "No, we just work at the same shop together. As a matter of fact, she has an appointment with someone else here tonight." I'm remembering quite clearly now. And I remember he looked quite sad.
He looked sad.
Quite sad. And then he said, "I know she has an appointment, it's with me, but I've got to take the next train out of town on urgent business."
Urgent business? Was he a manufacturer, do you think? Oh, or a shop owner?
Oh, well, hard to say. He certainly looked well fed.
Well fed.
Oh, you know, to judge by appearances. Of course, it's not so unusual in a man his age. Ooh, the red and the black. I've been so anxious to read this. I wondered, can I borrow this sometime?
What?
I'd like to borrow this. I promised to return it.
What did you mean in a man his age?
I beg your pardon?
You said, it's not so unusual in a man his age. How old is he?
Well, you have to realize it was a dark night. And he had an exhausting day, emotionally, at any rate. And, well, I guess his age at... Oh, it's hard to say. Very. Possibly if he had some hair. Have you read The Magic Mountain?
What?
The Magic Mountain. I bought it for myself for my birthday. If you'd like, I'd lend it to you sometime.
Is he completely bald?
Does that matter? I thought you were in love with him.
No, I am in love with him, Mr. Novak. I am. It's just that I thought that... I had hoped... I am so ashamed of myself. As if appearances make a difference. The important thing is the letters. Oh, just think of all the immortal works of art, the rapturous love stories that were written by bald men and elderly men and fat men. You know, with indigestion and terrible tempers. But somewhere, deep inside, they have the magic. And that is a glory beyond estimation.
You put it very well, Miss Ballish.
Yes, I feel very well, Mr. Novak. I feel marvelous. Yes, thank you. Thank you for coming here today. Thank you for my life. It's very dark.
Very dark.
Oh, oh, I'm going to write him a letter. I'll write him a letter this very minute, so we have one waiting. But I won't mention you, since that might be embarrassing.
Yeah, I would appreciate that. Well, I guess I'd better get back to the shop.
Oh, yes, and I'll follow as soon as I've written the letter.
No, that's not necessary. Take the rest of the day off. Relax. Read a book. Have you finished Anna Karenina yet?
Oh, yes, a long time ago.
So did I. But it's remarkable how it stays with me. Every platform, every station platform with a train puffing in is Anna's platform. I can see her. Actually see her come out of the crowd, walk slowly towards her death. I've even tried to stop her a few times, but she always manages to vanish into the smoke and the steam.
How odd, Mr. Novak. How very odd. I wish it's in his letters.
Do you mean dear friends had the same experience?
More than once.
Well, goodbye, Miss Ballish.
Oh, Mr. Novak, can I tell you something quite sincerely? I like you, Mr. Novak. Really. I like you.
Thank you, Miss Ballish. See you in the morning.
Yeah, in the morning. Dear friend, I am so sorry about last night. It was a nightmare in every way. But together, you and I will laugh at last night someday. Ice cream. He brought me ice cream. Vanilla ice cream. Imagine that. Ice cream. And for the first time, we were together without a spat. Friendly. He was so friendly. That isn't like him. I'm simply sad. Oh, wonders never cease. Oh, wonders never cease. It's been a most peculiar day. Will wonders never cease? Will wonders never cease? Oh, where was I? Dear friend, I'm so sorry about last night. Was Someday. I sat there waiting in that cafe and never guessing that you were fat. You were near. You were outside looking bald. Nope. Friend, I am so sorry about last night. Last night, I was so nasty. Well, he deserved it, but even so, that George was not like this George. This is a new George that I don't know. Somehow, it all reminds me of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. For once before my eyes, a man that I despise has turned into a man I like. It's almost like a dream, strange as it may seem. He came to offer me